wanting to share this clip for a hot minute. This clip basically is everything that I've been saying as far as the GOP midterms goes. And it's going to come right out of Rick Scott's mouth, but only in a way you didn't expect. Let's see.
You recently put out an 11-point plan to rescue America, two of the big points of which are, quote, all Americans should pay some income tax to have skin in the game, even if a small amount. Currently, over half of Americans pay no income tax. It also says all federal legislation sunsets in 5 years. If a law is worth keeping, Congress can pass it again.
So what he basically just said is that the GOP's midterm plans is to raise taxes on regular people and get rid of Medicare and Social Security. It's a winning platform if ever I heard one. Take also the fact that they want to make abortion illegal federally. Man, you want to talk about fantastic politics.
So that would raise taxes on half of Americans and potentially sunset programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Why would you propose something like that in an election year?
Sure. Well, John, that's, of course, the Democrat talking points. It's a
No, it's in the plan. It's in the plan.
All right, let's go ahead and unpack that, shall we? So we saw our basic project, deflect thing that we always see when politicians get called out for their shitty policies. Always try to put it on the other people, but because you can't fact check them live on television, they get away with it. Well, this host is not having it.
Here's this thing about reality for a second. First of all, let's talk about Medicare.
But Senator, hang on.
John.
So it's not a Democratic talking point. It's in the plan.
Oh, God, that's just so good. Hold on. Let's revisit that just one more time.
Here's this thing about reality for a second. First of all, let's talk about Medicare.
But Senator, hang on.
John.
So it's not a Democratic talking point. It's in the plan.
And also in...
I want you to remember this clip every time you hear that pivot. It's not us, it's the Democrats. It's not us, it's the Democrats. I want you to remember this clip every time you hear that pivot.
In the plan, it says we ought to every year talk about exactly how we're going to fix Medicare and Social Security. Here's what's happening. No one that I know of wants to sunset Medicare or Social Security. But what we're doing is we don't even talk.
Everyone that you know of, because your party let you put it in writing for the midterms.
Talk about it. Medicare goes bankrupt in 4 years. Social Security goes bankrupt in 12 years. I think we ought to figure out how we preserve those programs. Every program that we care about, we ought to stop and take the time to preserve those programs. I mean, I just fought the postal bill because...
The only reason he's tap dancing like this is because he got straight up called out on live television. Continue to watch this vaudeville act. It's just fantastic.
It put more responsibility on Medicare and took it off the Postal Service and put Medicare in a worse position. Now, let's go back. Let's talk about...
Yo, Skeletor's eyes when he lies to you are creepy.
Taxes for a second. I'll put my record up against anybody on tax cuts.
Yes, I think we should put your record up.
I cut taxes and fees 100 times as governor. But here's what's unfair. We have people that could go to work and have figured out how to have government pay their way. That's not right. They ought to have some skin in the game. I don't care.
You should probably see what states take in the most government assistance and why.
It's $1. We ought to all be in this together. I'm going to continue to focus on reducing taxes. That's what I've done my whole life. But there's an 11-step plan. Go through it. Everybody's not going to agree with everything. 128 policy points. Let's be bold. Go to rescueamerica.com. Give me your ideas, or you can text America to 22.
The only reason you're asking for ideas now is because you got called out. This is just fantastic.
044, give me your ideas. I want to change this country. The woke left controls everything. We got to win, and we got to change the country.
The woke left controls everything. They're the ones that made sure that you had to carry an unwanted child for 9 months and then give birth to it, whether it was going to affect your health or not. But hey, the woke left controlled everything, right? More projection.
Tell me about your mother.
As you said, not everyone agrees with it, and one of the people that doesn't agree with it is Mitch McConnell. Here's what he said.
Let me tell you what would not be a part of our agenda. We will not have as part of our agenda a bill that raises taxes on half of the American people and sunsets Social Security and Medicare within 5 years.
Well, it actually turned out that Rick Scott said everything we was going to do on television, so we got to figure out how to tap dance our way back from this because nobody will vote for this bullshit.
That will not be part of a Republican Senate majority agenda.
Perhaps we should pull up Kevin McCarthy's Contract for America that's just basically a brochure of culture wars and make sure that your words are on there, Mitch McConnell.
A few days after he said that, you penned a Wall Street Journal op-ed about your plan titled, "Why I'm Defying Beltway Cowardice." Are you calling Mitch McConnell?
Why I'm defying Beltway cowardice. I think we should probably put up right here where Senator Scott apparently has absconded with a lot of GOP midterm money. Not only does he give a horrible plan, but he takes the money too. What a class guy.
A coward?
Allegedly.
What I'm saying is, I've been in D.C. for 3 years, right? I want to get something done. I went to D.C. to change this country.
Oh, you're trying to change the country, all right. And I'm pretty sure these midterms are going to tell you that we're not down with what your plans are. We were never a theocracy. The First Amendment makes sure that that's not possible. But however, y'all got your agenda, don't you?
Look at where we are now. The woke left controls the executive branch. They control a lot of our government. They control academia.
Can we talk about the term woke for a second? Is it just me, or is it just this term that you can use to move the goalposts when something isn't straight and Christian? You can literally lump anything into there, and there will be an entire group of people who will reject it because it contains their favorite buzzwords.
They control Hollywood. Look at it. We have an open border. We've decided we're not going to be energy independent.
We always have to make sure to bring up the border of midterms because the fear vote from nationalists is absolutely vital to make sure the GOP gets power.
We've got to change this. You don't change it without having a plan. I'm a business guy. When I was in business, I wrote a plan. I surround myself with...
We just saw your plan, and you tried to deny it. They literally called you out live on air because of your plan. So we know what you're trying to do. We see the tap dancing. We see the projection. We see the deflection. It's so easy to decode you guys at this point because your words are so easy to use against you.
I ain't got a final plan yet.
I have a plan. You just have to trust me.
With people, we implemented the plan. When I went for governor, I had a plan. We've got to have a plan for what we're going to do when we win. We're going to win. We have...
That plan was to catch He-Man. Ha ha ha!
Brainless idiots, you boob.
Great people. But let's have a plan. That's why I said, go to Rescue America, give me your ideas. If these ideas of mine aren't the best, let's come up with the best ideas out there.
Oh, Rescue America has a website we can submit ideas to?
I think the majority of your colleagues want to focus on Joe Biden as opposed to coming up with a plan.
Joe Biden! Yep. Apparently, according to the numbers, more drugs have been seized than the prior administration. In fact, there was enough fentanyl seized to apparently save an entire city, but we don't hear anything about that. However, what you did just see is Senator Rick Scott lie to you and get called out on television. Projection, deflection, whataboutism. It's what the GOP does. It's what they're good at. We have to make sure we keep calling them out because they have no shame when it comes to pointing out their hypocrisy. All right. That'll be all for today. Remember, peace, love throughout the world, and don't forget to rock and roll.